Do. Test. 1, 2, 3. Welcome to, what is it? Episode 14 of 52. Let me just get my notes up because I can't remember what I've been up to. So yes, right. So you may notice that the background looks a little different, and it's mainly because I usually put my camera on the edge of the bed and film this way. So I've got the little fire in the background, but it actually takes me longer to unset my camera and the mount and all the kind of stuff. Take the mic off its stand, do all this kind of shit, move everything over there, get set up, readjust all the camera and stuff like that, just to put it all back when I've finished so that I can stream. It's really annoying. So I'm gonna just see how it comes out this week, do it this way. Yes, there's no lovely fire in the background, but it'll have to do, okay? So last Saturday, I did a few hours at the bottle shop, and before I went in, I went to Co-op to get some coffee and some milk and bits like that. And there was this little douchebag kid, and I know these days kids are mainly little knobheads, but this one particular, I can't remember what he called it. It was something like Desmond or Archie or something like that. And this dad were walking this little kid around Co-op, and he was like, this little kid was like, I want it, Daddy, I want it. And then this dad's like, oh, come on, please, come on now, come on. And this little kid, little douchebag fucking kid, he's indestructible because he knows if this kid, we'll call him Archie, right? This little Archie bastard, he knows that if he whinges and moans and causes that much of a scene in the shop, that the parent will just give him what he wants, and then he becomes powerless. The kid knows he gets what he wants if he causes a fuss. And if you give in to that child's shitty behaviour, then they'll just do it again and again and again, and all you're doing is making your life worse, and you're making things more difficult. And he got to, but the best bit is we got to the self-checkout thing, and there's like 4 lanes in a row, and I'm stood there, and I put my bits down. I'm thinking, God, finally that kid shut up. And they were both next to me basically, and they both went to the self-checkout to the side of me, and there's like a glass protector thing in between my till and his till. And this kid is getting these things and like banging croissant thing and getting the milk and going meh, meh, with his angry look in his face, like meh, meh. And the dad's like, come on Archie, please stop doing that, please. I'm just thinking, fuck me, man, you've already lost the game, you've lost. So this kid, he gets like a little bottle or something and turns to the right to the little plastic thing and starts tapping it and looking at me. And I stop and I go, I give him the most evil death stare. And this kid just goes like, he stops, freezes like that. I'm like, yeah, you little prick. Fuck you. I'm giving him this look like, pure filth. Little dickhead. And then I walked away and I felt like, I almost felt like I was being like Ricky Gervais on Afterlife, just a dickhead to everybody. So like, all right, he's a little modgy bastard, but I'll never have to see him again. So, it's fine. That wound me up. It wound me up. And I don't know what it is about shitty little kids, but I just have the lowest tolerance. It's just, it's not even funny. The main part of my last week has been Sunday. So on Sunday, me, my little brother and my friend Alex, we went to York for a day out, and it was supposed to be this event hosted by Turning Point Brewery. And basically it was 7 different pubs around York, and each pub had a different imperial stout on cask, which is like hand-pulled beer. And I've been waiting for this event for like, what, 3 months or something since they announced it. The Facebook page had like barely any interaction, and I thought, you know what, it's going to be all right. It said the event is on Saturday and Sunday, so I thought, right, I'm not going to book a day off work, I'll just go on a Sunday instead, right? So planned it for Sunday. We're all up for it. We meet in town at 9 o'clock so we can get the train to York at 10 o'clock. So we meet in town, we get a breakfast at Spoons. I know, I'm very against Wetherspoons, but I was overruled, I suppose. So we're having this breakfast, and then I look on my phone and like, oh no, there's a post in here saying that one of the pubs has run out of the beer already, so we can't complete this challenge. You're supposed to get a stamp in all 7 pubs, and then you get a like a gift bag at the end. I'm assuming with like a mug and some other stuff. That's all I really wanted. So I'm thinking, oh, well, one of the pubs has run out, so what we're supposed to do? We're not going to be able to get all 7 stamps. And they did put underneath that if you come in and buy anything, you can still get your stamp, and the brewery will, you know, post stuff out or whatever. So I'm thinking, all right, bloody hell, as if they only had 1 cask. Then about 20 minutes later, before we actually get on the train, the brewery themselves posted a thing on Facebook saying all 7 bars ran out yesterday. All 7 ran out on a Saturday. So I'm thinking, Jesus Christ. So do we still go to York if there's like the event's not even on? What do we do? We decided to go anyway. The train was at 9:40, so 20 to 10. And it stopped off at Leeds and then went Leeds to York. It was about an hour and a half total. Half an hour, well, 40 minutes to Leeds. There's a 10-minute wait and then another whatever. But we started to have train beers the second we got on first train. So we're already drinking like 6% lager, like a India Pale Lager. And then we got on the second train and then we had this like 8% sour. And then as last drink was this 10% hazelnut chocolate stout. And this was all before we even got to bloody York. So I'm one of those weird drunks where one beer can get me pissed. I can feel it. As soon as I've had one, my brain's like, dude, Jesus. But I'll stay like that for about 6 hours. I won't really get any higher. Then all of a sudden, I'll get to a point and I'm just steaming. So it's not like a gradual thing. I'll like bump up, straight across for ages, and then blah! So I'd made this Google Map link thing. Coffee in my mustache. Of all the places that I wanted to go in York, and I think I had about 10 or 11 places dotted around, and we had a nice little loop. We were still going to go to all the same pubs off the actual stout challenge, but just get a different drink instead. So we kind of did it, but not really. That's my WhatsApp tone. If you didn't recognise it, it's Steve Smith from American Dad. Let's put that on silent. Oh no, I need my phone for my notes. So I looked on Google Maps. Don't know where that came from. I went on Google Maps and the first pub, it said it opens at 11 AM on maps. I went on their Facebook, it said 11 AM. I get to the front door, open at 12. Mega. Went to the next pub. It says on the maps, open at 11. Checked on Facebook, open from 11. On the front door, opens at 12. Why? Anyway, we settled for the closest pub we can see that were open, so we went in, and it was like £5 for a Guinness, which, you know, it's not exactly what you're after when you're doing a craft beer run, but it is what it is. It was almost like a breakfast, so we started this Guinness, it was nice. And then we started his actual craft beer trail at like 12 o'clock. So we went to these pubs and there was some really, really good places. So the first one we went to was one of the House of Trembling Madnesses in York, because there's 2. There's the original one, which is really creepy, and the other one, which is quite modern. We went to this one first, and we got like a 10.5% dessert stout, and then 11% IPA, which was just like. So basically, every pub we got like two 1/3 or a half pint of one beer each. Because they're so strong, you just literally can't be drinking pints of that, you'll die. We had a couple of those, we had a couple there, went to one round the corner, and then I tried for ages to get an Uber from where we were to the other side of York, so we could make us way back to the train station. But it was like, I looked in the map and there was like 50 Uber drivers all around the city, doodling around, and I tried to search for one. It was like, okay, it's going to cost you £5.20 or something. I'm like, oh, nice one. It is like, you know, it's only a 5-minute drive. That's pretty cool. And it was just cycling through these drivers and they kept denying me. And after 20 minutes, we were like, okay, guys, we're just going to walk. It was actually quite a sunny day to say it were April. So we just got to move on. We just went for a walk. I think we stopped off at Valhalla first, which was like a Viking pub, where you could try some mead and stuff like that. So that was pretty cool. And mead absolutely weren't what I was expecting. I mean, I've had like Christmas mead and stuff like that before. It's really clear. It's almost like a wine. But I expected, you know, when you went to a pub called like Valhalla, I went in expecting you get like a proper mucky flagon or a big horn full of like, you know, just grim honeyed ale. And it weren't. It was this like clear, tiny little 1 you know, 100 millilitres in this little glass, and it's like you're sipping it. I'm thinking it's okay, but you know, you've got a picture in your mind of what something's going to be like, and it's not. I was like, meh, but it was okay. We ended up getting some food there as well. I think we just got like a little sausage thing and some halloumi fries. It was all right. It was nice, steady away. It was at this point where we were all feeling kind of steaming already, even though it was only like 1 o'clock. So we got, we all decided to buy a bottle of tactical water, and it was just a 500ml bottle, but we drank it and refilled it at every pub, and it kept us super hydrated. And honestly, I felt fine all day. I was steaming. We were all pretty steaming, but it kept us sane. So yeah, I definitely recommend it. Instead of having to buy a glass, well, instead of having to ask for a glass of water at every pub and carrying it around, just carry a little bottle, and at the end of each pub, just ask them to fill it up. You know, they're not going to say no, are they? So yeah, we went there, we went to the mead place, we went to another, and then we walked over to Brew York, which I love Brew York. It's a really nice brewery. But the best thing about Brew York is at that moment in time, they have this like a Japanese/Korean street food vendor inside at the minute. And I'm not really big on Asian style food. I never have been. That's because we don't really get the best takeaways and stuff around where I live. It's just slop. So we ended up getting these bao buns that my little brother recommended, because he's lived in Japan and he's big into his Asian food. And he says, oh yeah, try these bao buns. So like, okay then. So I got a beef one, my mate got pork, and my brother got chicken. And oh my god, it was one of the nicest things I've ever eaten. It was this fluffy little bread thing that was like a cloud of just niceness, and then the beef that was inside was such a concentrated, meaty taste. Oh my god, I would just oh, it was just one of the best things. And me and Alex got a second one. It was that nice. I was like, oh, I'm thinking about it now. It's just what I want. So a little later on, we went down to the other House of Trembling Madness, which is kind of like the craft beer capital of York. It's famous for its architecture and the style of the building, and you know what those dead animal things on the walls called. Taxidermy. Yeah, everywhere. Really crazy decor. Really nice. Really enjoyed it. And we decided to try loads of different mead while we were there. So we've got like a tray of like 4 different flavours, and we kind of all took a sip of each one and spun it round, you know, and then tried each one. And it was just mega. It was this nice, proper mead tasting thing. And then we went on to buy 3 sharing platters. At this point, my brother's friend joined us. It was called Sam, so there's 4 of us. But we got 3 of these huge sharing platters of meat and cheese and bread and, you know, hummus and olives and all this kind of stuff. And it was here where my my little brother, I think he ate like a spoon of something thinking it was hummus, but it turned out to be like horseradish or some kind of really strong like wasabi or something like that. And they're choking in the middle of House of Trembling Madness. So funny. After this, we went to a few other pubs. You know, we carried on going, we were talking, having a really good laugh. It was a proper good time. The sun was out. It was as good as it could be. And then this lad that joined us, Sam, he said to me, do you want to see my party trick? I'm like, yeah, go on then. And bear in mind at this point, this guy's supping these beers, and he's a bit like, oh, this one's a bit strong for me, or oh, I'm not too sure about this. You know, it is what it is. And he says, okay, my party trick is I can down a pint in under 4 seconds. I'm thinking, there's no way. I've been watching you, like, you know, nurse this beer for ages. I'm thinking that, I don't know, maybe. And he basically just says, if I can't do it, I'll buy you all a shot. If I can do it, basically, the pint that you buy that's the loss, that's the forfeit. You've bought the pint. I either spend a fiver and I get to watch him do this, which is quite funny. I'm just buying a guy a drink, don't mind that. Or he fails and we all get shots. So so he does this thing, and he like sits there and he's like, okay, so it's up to me what pint I want to buy him, and I buy him like a pint of San Miguel, whatever the fizziest lager I can find is that's gonna be the most difficult to down. And we get it, you know, it's in a weird big goblet glass like that, and I'm like, there's no way this kid doing this, and he literally just goes burp, gone. It He just inhales it. And it was so impressive because he's not a big guy. He was quite small, you know, and it was just weird. It was just like it was just poured it down his throat. So it got to about, I don't know, 8 o'clock, something like that. So we've been out since 9 AM and we decided to look at train times just so we can kind of be safe on what we're doing. And it turns out the last 2 trains are at like 20 past 9 and then another one at 25 past 9. I'm thinking, Jesus Christ, as if we're going to go home at that time. But it's probably for the best because we were absolutely steaming. My brother decides to stay in York with his pal and then stop at his house, whereas me and Alex are getting the last train home. So we're going to House of Trembling Madness and buy 3 beers for the train home. Because apparently after, 10 hours of drinking, that's a really good idea. You know, everything went that quick, I lost all kind of concept of time. So we walk into this, it's like a hot roast pork, roast beef, roast whatever, vendor. This big mini restaurant thing. I don't know, I can't describe it. So we were queued for about 20 minutes. So we're there. We're talking bollocks, we're just having a look at all food and that. It's taking ages to get to the front. We were in the queue for about 20 minutes. And we get like second to the front and I get my phone out and I look and I'm like, oh my God, it's 9:15. We have got 10 minutes to get to the station and it's quite a way away. It's at least a 20-minute walk, so we're gonna have to you know, semi-jog all the way to the station. So we're like, right, we literally haven't got enough time to order this. So after 15-20 minutes of queuing, we just leave. We have to leave. And I'm like, no, God, all we've been talking about for the last 20 minutes is how good this beef looks, how good this pork looks, and maybe we can like get a mega multi-sandwich with bits of everything on this. Oh, and it was exactly what we needed. We were so hungry. And we had to leave it and we had to run for the train, and it was a rate trek. It was miles away. We got there anyway. We're like, I don't know, 40 seconds to spare. We get in, we sit down, we're sweating, we're like, ugh, that is not what we needed after all this beer. So we sit down, we crack his beer open, and then the train goes all the way from York to Doncaster, which is past us, and then Doncaster to Meadowhall, Sheffield, whatever, and then Sheffield back home. It was ridiculous. It took like 2 hours. And that wasn't even the worst bit. It were annoying how long the train took, but we had some beers, we had some laughs, we were talking bollocks, it were fine. The worst bit was, when I first got on the train at 20 past 9, I rung loads of taxi ranks in Barnsley for a taxi from the train station at 11:30 when the train got there to get me back home. Right? It's a 10-minute drive, or it's like a 45-minute walk. And every single taxi rank I wrote, every taxi that I rung, all just said, no, nothing while 2 in the morning, nothing while 1:30, nothing while whatever. I'm thinking, on a Sunday? Why is there no bloody taxis on a Sunday? I thought, balls to it, I'm just going to get off the train and I'm going to go to the taxi rank. You know, the thing that's operated by the local council. Black and white cabs, basically. Oh, what a mistake. What a mistake. So the second I get off the train, it is banging it down. It's absolutely raining sideways. It's horrendous. So I think, oh my God, I'm not standing at taxi rank in this. I'm hungry, so I'll go get some cheesy chips or whatever. Kebab meat with cheesy chips, garlic sauce, blah. So I go and get this, and then I wait for the rain to go. I'm stood for about 15 minutes. Rain doesn't go. Takeaway shuts. Chucks me out. So I'm like, all right then. So I'm going to have to get in the taxi rank. So I stand there at taxi rank, it rain. I've got no coat, no nothing. I'm just like, brrr. I'm there for 45 minutes, and there's only 3 people here in this taxi rank. There's nobody else. I'm stood here like, this is absolutely horrendous. I don't do rain ever. I absolutely can't stand rain. And there's only one taxi rank in the centre of town, right? There's nowhere else where they should be picking up. There used to be one down the road, but they've closed it. Since they've done this big development thing, it's closed, so you can't actually get picked up there anymore. But I keep seeing these taxi drivers, black and white cabs come past with one or 2 people in the back. Where are they getting picked up? Where? So I'm stood there 45 minutes and not a single one of us in this taxi rank gets picked up. So I get face on. I proper get face on. So I start walking to the other taxi rank to see if I can pick one up somewhere else. I'm piss wet through. I'm like, this is just the worst. So I stand at the other taxi rank and I'm like, right, I'm going to see if someone's going to pick me up here. Nope. Another 15, 20 minutes stood there. This is shit. This is proper shit. And I happened to spot this guy across the road, and I know him. I've known him for quite some time. And I shouted at him, I'm like, oh my God. And he's just leaving work, basically. And I'm like, please, Carl, give me a lift home. Please, I will give you any amount of money. And he's like, oh, of course I will, mate, of course I will. So he drops me off back home, bless him. And I get out of this car. It drops me off at the roundabout at the top of the hill. And I just have like a 2-minute walk down to my house. And I'm like, thank you so much for that, dude. Start walking home. I'm like, It's still raining sideways. I'm power walking down this hill, and my paper bag that my takeaway came in just disintegrated because of the weight of the water and the paper and the ness. And my food just drops, boom. And luckily, it stayed inside the polystyrene container thing, but if that had have opened, then my food would have gone everywhere. I'd have been a different man today. I'd have gone on some kind of warpath. I needed that food just to, you know, fix the last hour of shitty rain and trains and waiting and ness. It was absolutely shite. Shite. A terrible ending to such a lovely, lovely day. Yes, so that was it. Good trip though, good trip. The day after, I was just out of it. Monday, I was dead to the world. Just laid in bed, laid on the sofa. Help me. I didn't particularly have a headache or anything like that. I just felt so drained and tired and sick. Oh, it's just not worth it. You sit and you think to yourself, like, God, this is shit. You just gotta stop doing it. Stop doing it. But yet, no, I never do. Call of Duty Vanguard went free to play last week for 2 weeks. I've been putting myself through the torture that is that shitty game. I've been playing it, but you can't even pick what game mode you want to do, which is so annoying. So, back in Modern Warfare times, I used to love jumping on with my pals, all on us on headsets, talking bollocks, playing Search and Destroy, right? Winding players up, hiding, doing stuff. You know, like what? It was just the most fun. And then like, you're the last one alive, and you know, you've got like 3 people coming towards you, you've got to defend this bomb, and oh my God, what do I do? The pressure of that, it was just the best. It was the best fucking game. And the shitty Vanguard is here with its 100,000 fucking skins and guns and wank. And you can't even select what game mode you want to play. You can't even select what type of mode you want to play. It's just utter shit. So yeah, it's an utter bag of wank. Anyway. On Tuesday, I did some work. The usual. Me and my missus. When my missus got home from work, she brought some rum home. I bought a bottle of, a 1 litre bottle of JD honey. And we stayed up while like, what, 4 AM watching MasterChef, which was so funny. I'd never watched it, and I was just like, oh, we'll watch something with tea. This is at like, what, 6 o'clock? We'll watch something with tea and chill. Okay. And then we started watching MasterChef, and then before I knew it, it was 9 hours later. I've tanned a full litre bottle of JD honey. I'm like, this is so good. It was a good sesh. It was really funny. But because I've been watching all this MasterChef stuff, I thought, oh yeah, well, I've had these bao buns in York, and I watched MasterChef, and I think, well, I can do this, surely. So my idea of MasterChef cooking is going to Tesco and buying some frozen bao buns, and then cooking it. And it weren't great. At all. Yeah, absolutely not. It is what it is. So yeah, something over the next couple of weeks, maybe around my 30th birthday, which is in 28 days now. 4 weeks. Wow, 4 weeks, I'll be 30. So I think over the next couple of weeks, somewhere towards my birthday, I'm going to try and get a group of us together to go to some kind of Japanese, Korean, you know, all you can eat place. I just have loads of like tiny little dishes and just nail it. I think it'll be awesome. Yeah, so the rest of this week I haven't really done anything. I've just been working and getting on with stuff. Have I? I can't remember what. Right, it's Saturday. Yesterday I streamed Mafia. So I'm starting the Mafia trilogy on stream, which is going to be good. I've only ever streamed what is it? 2 and 3 before. I did all the DLC on 3, which was quite fun. The story's quite gripping. I really enjoyed 2, but it was a long time ago when I played it. I've never played 1 before, and I'm enjoying the game. It's all right. I think I streamed for about 6 hours yesterday, which were fun. I'm looking forward to getting back into that and carrying it on. I do want to put a lot more time back into my stream and try and get into it properly again, and you know, rebuild this community that I've definitely lost over time. So it should be all right if we can have a go with it. So it's currently about 18 beans on the Slacky-chan time code. So I've got to go to work. So yeah. I've got a nice 12-hour shift in front of me. I will see you all. Ooh. So thank you for watching, everybody. I will see you all next weekend. Have a good one and take care.